And now you're not even giving an option to people to say, are you for bear hunting or not? You're just telling them, when do you want us to hunt bears? That's not right.
Other questions or comments? Question 38.
Tricia Randolph, Marquette County. Yeah, I talked to a hunter this year who used to run bear with dogs, and he said that during the training season, which is now 4.5 months long, that easily 30% of the bears are cubs, they're inexperienced, they can't even get to a tree, they're killed in the training, 30% in the training. This is a hounder who's trapped since he was 5. He also, I mean, the whole thing about hounding, you can put in fresh dogs, you can keep running them, you can bait bears from April right through. When they come out of denning, you can get them accustomed to coming and eating donuts and apples and pick your bear and spend your time to just clean out the woods. I've seen pictures of them going down the trails and they just go to their bait pile, walk in with the dogs, listen for the dogs to treat it, go in and shoot that bear, then they go down and the next bait pile, go and shoot that bear. This is our wildlife. We don't want it killed like this for nothing. Bears are the most peaceful denizens of the woods. Lynn Rogers, who studied bears for 45 years, said you are never so safe as in the woods with a black bear. They huff and puff, they're afraid of us. They are peaceful. We do not need to be traumatizing everything all the time.
Paul Waking from Marshall, Wisconsin. Maybe it's just my comment is really a question of point of order, and I'm wondering if we can restrict the responses and comments to the actual questions at hand versus and respectfully, I understand people have different opinions in the room, which I think is great, but I think as a point of order for this hearing or this session, the responses or remarks should be relevant to the question at hand.
My name is Ellen Soloff. I'm from Madison, Wisconsin, and I would just like to address what that gentleman said. For many of us, these aren't actually questions. It's, do you want your killing here, or do you want your killing over there? I mean, this is not a discussion of whether or not people should be allowed to hound bears. I mean, this entire meeting seems to be set up with the assumption that yes, it's perfectly fine, it's absolutely legal, we're not going to change that, it's just a matter of degree. And I think a number of us who are not hunters and who are not trappers feel extremely disenfranchised by this setup. Thank you.
Joel Bowie from Mazomanie. First, I'd like to comment on that lady's response. I don't think any of us have a choice except to vote yes or no on any of these questions. That's it. So I don't see where your point is relevant there.
Hi, Adam Kosolki, Madison. Just wanted to make a quick question. I guess I don't get confused much, but I guess I'm confused about what part of public hearings some of us don't understand. It's not an issue of yes or no, it's also an issue of people's rights to make comments on concerns about the wording in some of these questions.
And I'd like to make a clarification at this point. Everyone's going to have their 3 minutes to speak. If it's not repetitive or disruptive, I'm going to give them the 3 minutes to speak, and I expect everyone to be respectful of that, otherwise you're going to be asked to leave. It's as simple as that.
Have the results of the 3-year term election, and Al Phelan will remain as, has been re-elected for a 3-year term. 234 to 196.
Would you support allowing trappers 4 days to check weasel enclosures if the enclosure meets the following requirements? The opening is not larger than 1 3/8 inches diameter. The size restriction would specifically target weasels and effectively eliminate the accidental take of other fur bearers, including the American marten. The enclosure set uses a body grip trap. The enclosure is secured to an immovable object to allow non-target fur bearers self-release without harm. Go ahead.
Tricia Randolph, Marquette. When I was serving on the Conservation Congress, I served on the trapping committee. And if you want PTSD, serve on the trapping committee. The torture of our wildlife is so horrible and so vast that not checking a trap for 4 days instead of just, first of all, nobody's really checking whether they check the traps. And they can set unlimited traps, they even forget traps on unlimited trap lines anywhere they want. So, you know, not checking a trap for 4 days when an animal might be just dehydrating and struggling and dying and bleeding, and trapping should be banned.